Back with my favourite ukulele scale and a brand that's featured several times on these reviews and always done pretty well. Keep watching. Yeah, welcome back to GotAUkulele. I've been away for a few weeks, so been a bit of a gap. This is the summary video review, as ever. To the full written review, you'll find linked below. Because I've not been away on family stuff for a few weeks, there's been a lot of donations that have come in over that 3-week period. These are people who've thrown me a tip, bought me a coffee through the link you'll find below, joined the Patreon, sent a tip on PayPal, and that's because I am completely impartial and independent from the stores and the brands. I don't get paid to do paid product advert reviews. What's the point? So I can only keep going by getting new stuff like this one, which I bought with blog funds. Thanks to these people. If you want to help out, you'll find links below in this video and on the website, and you can also help for free by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Hit the bell symbol, you'll get notified of new stuff that comes along when I put it up. Okay, yeah, this brand I first looked at some years ago in their EU3 series. Solid mahogany instruments with a beautiful nitro finish, lovely grain, lovely sound. Quite expensive, but they were very nice. I mistakenly said in the last video I thought they'd been discontinued, and that's because they disappeared from their website completely in favour of 2 new lines they'd put out. People corrected me and said if you got in touch with Eastman, they can still sell you an EU3, and sure enough, they've reinstated them on their website. But the 2 new lines are the EU1 series and the EU2. I've looked at the EU1 before in concert scale. They all come in soprano, concert and tenor. Couldn't resist looking at the other one. This is the EU2 soprano from Eastman, and it's a very classy looking thing. The EU1 was all solid mahogany. This one has solid Sitka spruce for the top and solid Ovenkol for the back and sides. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And in both cases, these are much cheaper offerings than the EU3, and because of that cheaper offering, you get quite a few little downgrades. But I really like the EU1. Have a look back at that video and you'll see how much I really did like it. So this one, soprano, also available in concert and tenor, as I say. This is solid Sitka spruce on the top and really beautiful. I never thought Ovenkol could be this pretty. Ovenkol solid on the back and on the sides. It's hard to tell whether that's a single piece back. It might be 2, certainly 2 pieces on the sides because we've got a joint in the tail. Can't tell on the top because the grain on this Sitka spruce is extremely tight and straight. You wouldn't know if there was a joint on it. It's a classy combination, brightness from the spruce, darkened off by a darker sounding tone wood on the back and sides. I can't get over this. I really love the look of this Ovenkol. I've never said anything nice about Ovenkol. It's a very plain looking material, but this is really, really pretty. Looks very clean, looks very classy. It's not my look. I much prefer mahogany and sopranos. I think that the bright top is... I'm not really a big fan of spruce, to be perfectly honest, but I'm trying to be as impartial as I can. But it is very clean looking, nice contrasting instrument. The bridge is rosewood. It's a slot style as you'd expect on a soprano. Very, very tidy indeed. Fitted with a bone, I think, straight topped saddle. That's very tidy. The decoration is similar to the EU1, so you get fake faux tortoiseshell binding to the top and back. The top also has some black and white purfling on it, and you get a Martin-esque black and white sandhole ring as well. That works well. The contrast, the tortoiseshell stands out much more than it does on the mahogany version because of this pale top. I really rather like that decor. It's not too gaudy, but it's a bit of interest. And no nitro finish like the EU3. This gets a satin finish like the EU1. But, you know, it's very, very well done. Slightly open pore on the back. Very, very tidy, very, very thin. Inside is pretty tidy. There's a bit of glue mess, a bit of glue seepage down here, but they are thin braces, notch linings, and it's a nice, reassuring finish and build to the body and the instrument. The neck is made of mahogany. It may well be in single piece. I can't see any joints anywhere. and that's in a dark sort of mahogany stain with satin finish. I do like this tapering up here where it's very, again, Martin-esque, so it's kind of squashed on the back. It's very, very slightly wider than average, 35 and 28 G2A, but it's still a soprano neck. And that's a nice profile. I find this neck very comfortable. The fingerboard is more rosewood. It actually looks like it's got a bit of a gloss on it. Why can I never focus this? See, there's a shine to it. So it's in very, very good condition. Ugly knot in it. Shouldn't complain about things like this. You shouldn't be throwing a piece of wood like this in the bin because there's a knot in it. It makes no functional difference to the instrument. But other than that, some really nice, interesting sort of stripe and flame going on in the rosewood. Not edge bound, so you see the fret ends. You get a very traditional 12 to the body joint, 17 in total. But they are dressed really, really smoothly. Very, very nice. Pearl dots at 5, a double 7th and one at the 10th, face out. And you also get repeated dots on the side with an extra one at the 12th. You don't really need one at the 12th. It's the body joint. You know that on a soprano. Yeah, it's a nice neck. Very nice neck. The nut is bone out of the box, and I bought this blind from a drop shipper to see how their regular setup out the factory is. It's absolutely bang on. 2.5mm at the 12th, no work needed at the nut whatsoever. I'm really impressed with the setup out the box. Into the headstock, which is not face, it's just more of the mahogany in a not quite a crown rounded top. Interestingly, the EU1 logo had the Eastman looked like a sticker underneath the satin. This is a screen print. I don't know why there's a difference between the two. And then the tuners are a downgrade from the EU3 because these are part spin open gears. Like the EU1, I thought they looked a bit scruffy. They are a bit scruffy, small black buttons, but they work all right. But my bigger gripe is purely the subjective one of mine. This is a soprano. I don't want ears on the instrument. I want rear-facing friction pegs or planetaries or something like that, because I don't like the look of pegs on a soprano. Mickey Mouse ears. Finishing it off, they are D'Addario Nalgut strings, which I think I'd probably change on a soprano. I think I found them a little bit sort of tubby sounding. We'll come on to that. And the same bright blue, not my colour, Eastman padded gig bag. The EU3 gets you a hard case, a very nice hard case. You only get the padded bags with the EU1 and the EU3. But you know what? That is a good bag. Neck support, strap and all of that kind of stuff. It's a good bag. Nice bag. And all of that is yours in soprano for $179. That's not a lot of money. That's really good value. All solid woods, very, very good build and finish. Scruffy tuners, not in the fingerboard. I'm really nitpicking. I can't really find much wrong with it, really. I would want rear-facing pegs, though. But $179 for a soprano, pretty good. Very good, in fact. This is extremely lightly built, but reassuring. It doesn't feel fragile. Very, very light. This is only 385 grams. Balances really nicely. You don't know you're holding it. Extremely light little soprano instrument. All in the play, isn't it? So not a lot wrong. Some of the things not to my tastes. And spruce on a soprano. Now I expect a soprano to be a bit brighter and zippier and zingier. It's a rhythmical instrument. But I do like the way mahogany sort of pulls that back a little bit. Basics first though, the volume. Great. What a punchy little cannon of a soprano. And sustain, look, you never get great sustain on a soprano. This is a tiny, tiny little body. But actually that ain't bad. I mean, that's kind of reminds me of like the Kawayas have got that sort of much more sustain than you'd expect. But it is very bright. I've got a very short nail. I've forgotten how to play it. Give up on that. So it is bright on the individual notes, as you can hear, but actually when you strum it, there's some warmth comes in. Finger picking. It's very pretty, isn't it? My playing, that's 3 weeks off for you. Look, it's too bright for me. I'd probably play around with strings, but it's a very loud, competent instrument, accurate play, and as I say, when you strum it, there is a bit of warmth comes in, which I think is coming from the back and sides. You've got a choice, haven't you? You can go for the EU1, which is great. So many people like these bright, zingy sounding spruce topped instruments. Get the EU2. Either way, this again is I still prefer the EU1 a little bit more, but that is purely subjective. I prefer mahogany sopranos, and that was a concert I looked at, but if I was getting the soprano, I'd get the EU1. But I understand why a lot of people like this wood combination, dark wood, bright spruce top. It's certainly very attractive. The build is great. It's extremely light. It's not a lot of money. Yeah, there are downgrades from the EU3 series, but the EU3 is quite a lot more. I wish it had rear facing pegs, purely subjective. There we are. A very nice little instrument. Very nice little instrument. I do like this a lot, actually. I'm really sorry for my my shonky playing after 3 weeks. There we are. The Eastman EU2-S Soprano, £179, solid Sitka spruce top, solid, beautiful oven coal back and sides, rosewood fingerboard and bridge, and that nice gig bag. Yeah, I like Eastman's stuff. It's very well made. It punches above its weight price wise, and this gets a recommendation for that reason. Right, good to be back. If that was a little bit garbled, it's again because of my break, as I keep saying. But I'm back next week, moving to the opposite end of the size scale, so that gives you a clue what I'm looking at. Can't wait to bring you that one. And then with Christmas, then I'm away again, I'm afraid. But it's all getting a little bit disjointed, but I've got loads coming in the new year as well. But I'll see you next week. Until then, take care if you're in the UK in this windy, stormy weather. It's wild out there. I hope you do stay safe and look after yourselves, keep warm, and I will see you in a week's time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.